You feeling okay? Seems like you were having a strange dream the other night. A cup of tea might help you sleep. Unless you need a nip of something stronger.
The armored mask. We dream of steel and charred earth and flame. The memory binds. Flee from her. We fear. For us. For you. Blazing ire. It burns and feeds upon itself. Pain through the smoke, we recall. You are not safe with her. We reach. The spines tear into us. We pull our hands away. But the old scars do not lie. We burned once. Burned. We know. A storm from the same spark. All pain cuts with the same blade. Steer clear of the scourging fire, or extinguish it. No recourse but teeth. The flame spreads toward the garden wall. Listen. Have care. Have care.
Hold it there, Aimika. We're expecting someone tonight for sure. But you're not them. You got it, pal. Though I'd put money down that you spoke to my good friend Trevik. Told you we were the baddies, did he? Trevik and his scabby nuts stole Adra from the Valiant Trading Company. This is widely advised against. You see what I mean? So I'm here in my capacity as a procurement agent, if you will. I bring back the Adra, or I bring back their heads. Oh, you have it with you, eh? Interesting. Let's hear your offer. Oh, really? You think any of us has the kind of money to pay for any amount of luminous Adra? It's only found in one part of the world, and it's all controlled by one company that can set whatever price it wants. That bit of Adra you have there is worth more than Trevik's and his crew's lives combined. Deal. The Adra's worth more than those boltos anyway. On behalf of the Valiant Trading Company, I appreciate your business. Now scram. Me and my crew have things to discuss.
In Hightown. He seeks explorers to assist him in mapping the living lands.
My friend, any chance you found some luminous Adra for me? Why would you do that? I certainly wouldn't have wanted to get them killed. I just worry more lives will be lost without my work. Well, if I can't cure this affliction, at least I'll always have my questionable fumes to keep me company.
Welcome back, Envoy. Show it here. Guess you were just the one storm she couldn't survive. Be safe out there, you hear?
Envoy. On the contrary, Paradise believes it can help you.
Careful, he could be a messenger. Or this could get interesting.
We have learned you are not a figure to be trifled with. Your mercy for our compatriots has not gone unnoticed. Take this. We deem you worthy. This time, we trust you will remember our gratitude.
Something doesn't feel right here. Never has.
Aye, aye. Stand back. Ready, aim. Here it comes.
Something happened here. Birth. Voices. Arms building a wall. The ruins sleep in the field now. The only proof they lived. How do we leave our mark upon the river of memory? Planting seeds. The body dies, but ideals persist. Your clarity of vision soothes us.
Just like the Strangle Road. Envoy, you gotta tell me your secret.
The Envoy blacked out for a moment, and now the Audra has flowers on it. Does that about sum it up? Coming in hot.
Can't believe we're stationed out here, so far from the city. Piss off the captain or something? Hail, friend. Always nice to see a fellow traveler out here. Where are you headed? Truly? Then we're heading the same way. Though Emerald Stair is not my ultimate goal. One of my ancestors apparently grew up in Solace Keep, deep in the Living Lands. I hope to find this place. It's my ancestral home. Sure, I may have grown up in Stalwart, but I'm Pagroon through and through, just like the dwarves here in the Living Lands.
If your ancestors left Solace, it isn't your ancestral home anymore.
Some things never change. Whether I'm here or back in Stalwart, it's always the Pagroonen that make me question this journey.
Hold a moment. They tell me you're going to Emerald Stair. Business or pleasure? Well, just remember to cover your mouth, sneeze into your elbow, and sleep with lavender under your pillow. Fair warning, Envoy. Before you showed up, Inquisitor Ludwine barged past me. She was looking none too pleased. Don't thank me. In fact, keep my name away from Ludwine's ears. Better if she doesn't know I exist. Anyway, I thought you should know Ludwine's on the prowl. Tread lightly.
As long as she's not on our scent. Given how angry she was about Eagwolf, probably best we give her a wide berth.
You're cleared to pass, Envoy.
Can't say I'm sad to be leaving Paradise. I had no idea how tense things were with the Adirans moving in. And now we have to worry about whether the man who killed you is going to try again.
Believe me, that's a relief. Besides, the Steel Garrote's all too eager to take up that mantle.
Steel Garrote? I figured they're just more intense Adiran soldiers.
They're certainly making their presence known. Can't say they're making any friends, though.
I don't like that Ludwine woman. She gives me the freakus.
Yeah, I've seen floggings gentler than the scolding she gave Hilgard. One's tacking when the other's jibing, if you catch my drift. And that's gonna mean trouble for everyone around them before long.
And it's a good thing we're getting out of the city.
Yeah. Much as Liviana misses our company, I wouldn't count on your mysterious friend reviving you a second time.
Are you listening to that friend when you go all blank-eyed from time to time? Does your special friend talk to you? I mean, I had an imaginary friend when I was little, but they never brought me back from the dead.
He means that with all due professional respect, of course.
How do you know this friend doesn't mean us any harm? Unless they have their own use for you. That's what's giving me the shakes.
We're headed to Fior Messi Verno to see if the Animancers know anything about the Dream Scourge, right? Maybe we'll learn something about your condition in the process.
Right. When it comes time to deal with Animancers, you two are on your own.
Most fun things are.
They can stand around and have scholarly debates about souls all they want. Gives me a great opportunity to take a nap.
I haven't been back in a while, but Fior is, an interesting place. It was founded about 50 years ago by a disgraced Valian duke and a handful of animancers who'd soured on politics in the republics.
Town full of nobles, scholars, and leeches, all surviving off the work of the farmers who grow food for the whole island.
They're an eccentric bunch. You'll see. It turns out that academics are as ungovernable as the rest of us rabble.
They don't understand what they're messing with. They can't tame the wilds with machinery.
They've held it at bay until recently. Their ingenuity, or madness, or heresy, take your pick, has fed a lot of people in the living lands. But, rumor has it, some unnatural blight is destroying their crops. Hopefully there's nothing to that. But if there is, we'll find out soon enough. And while we're in Emerald Stair, there's something I've been putting off. An old friend from my time in Thirdborn had a cabin out in the woods. Tama. He passed a while ago, but he left something for me that I never got around to picking up. But since we'll be in Emerald Stair anyway... You won't regret it. Emerald Stair's lovely this time of year. Even the Delimgon bloom.
No matter what I tell you, you keep picking flowers from things that want to kill you.
Hey, they love me. You just gotta ask nicely. Compliment their foliage.
Right. Maybe buy them a drink before they choke you to death with vines. Well, you came to the right place.
You and I have quite the adventure ahead of us, Envoy.
I have 2 rules. No campfire songs and no hugs. That last one's non-negotiable.
I hear wiggle room on the singing.
If we're done being ridiculous, we should get some rest. We'll be in Emerald Stair tomorrow.
Good to have you with us, Marius.
Right. Go to bed before you violate the hugging rule. You might want to consider not washing your clothes in safflower oil.
I hate to break it to you, but regular lawn...
Would you be a dear in helping these portlings, please?
Looks like she could use our help.
Let's give her a hand.
Take it down. Nice!
Fantastic. People. I was about to lose my wits.
A mind's question. The dust of the Akita in her hair. She knocks. We would answer.
You wouldn't happen to have a ladder on hand, would you?
No ladders, Envoy. Wouldn't fit in the packs.
You're welcome to my shoulders.
Shoot. That vase is far too high for me, and a ladder would have been perfect. But perhaps we don't need one. You're tall, striking, and well-toned.
If you keep encouraging her, she's going to climb you.
Watch out, Envoy. She seems to have a thing for you.
Careful, darling. I already have a lover. A good one. Skilled with his hands. He always carries a ladder. But, sadly, he's busy helping the Animancers in Fjord. And I need this vase now. Oh, you will? My. You're a looker and a doer. The vase sits atop that tower beside us, in the ruins there. And once you've got it, look me up. Yatsley, wizard extraordinaire, godless expert, and a Balrog in the bedroom.
You do meet the most interesting people.
I can get you 1,000 vases that don't require going into some ancient ruins. But no one listens to me. Right behind you.
Mind me not to spook you. You're mine now. Everybody all right?
Darling, you are aware I can see you digging through my things, aren't you? Andra's titties, you found it! I tried using magic to get the vase down, but alas. Thankfully, you and your little friends came along and saved the day.
Excuse me. We're all bigger than you are, Nimdude.
I may be small, but my magic is not, I assure you. If you say so, darling. But I'd best pack up. I want to get home. I have a new artifact to study. Thank you for your help, Godlike. Even if you didn't have a ladder.
Well, that's something I hope never happens again.
I've got a few inches to spare if she changes her mind. Just like the good old days. Aye, aye.
Never seen Emerald Stair like this. It's usually so nice.
More of this stuff. Has anyone figured out how to get rid of it? Here we go! As if people weren't hungry enough.
You told us that animancy would save our crops, and now look, spoiled on the vine. Zarips won't even touch them.
Animancy is a process. We're talking about a delicate metaphysical ecosystem.
Machines everywhere, and none of them are doing a thing of good.
You there! You look like you know where you're going.
Can you tell me the way to Fjore's market? That makes no sense. Their grain exports are what keep the whole region fed. Oh no. I don't believe it. This is the market, isn't it? Oh, great. That's the last thing our boss will want to hear. I came here to cut a deal that'd feed Thirdborn for a month. I was meant to set up a supply line. That's not a bad idea. I'll still have to face my boss, but maybe this'll buy me time. I'll think of something. Thanks anyway.
They say he's still there, lying on the scaffold.
It's a shame, a crying shame.
A shame, yes, but not unexpected.
Oh, it's just unfortunate, that's all.
Yes, love. But to be fair, you have seen the title of his latest dissertation, yes?
I have. I very much looked forward to his presentation.
Sadly, I believe we've seen as much as we'll ever see.
Oh no, we were just discussing the unfortunate fate of the great Giacomo Feluccio.
Such brilliance, cut off in his prime. Truly, he was expected to set the world of Animancy aflame.
Well, I suppose he had an explosive career, nonetheless.
Oh, you. My dearest has the most delightful sense of humor.
Yes, I have never met a tragedy I couldn't find a way to enjoy.
Quiet as the depths.
I really don't think you can deny that everything wrong in Fjord obviously comes from using animancy.
We don't use animancy on our farms. Our folks are trying to kill us. I don't know what he wants.
You showed up at a bad time. Word of advice, give a wide berth to the governor's manor. Giatta's about to tear that poor man a new one. Well, I hope you have a stomach for profanity.
Huh. A woman shouting profanity at leadership? Reminds me of home.
She came storming up the hill with a wheelbarrow full of spoiled crops. Then the shouting started.
Animancers fighting? This I have to see.
This isn't the first time Giatta's put the governor in his place, but it might be the last. The governor's manor is on the far side of town. You can't miss it. Just follow the sound of foul language.
I was hoping to learn some local curses.
Looking forward to seeing what it looks like when animancers fight.
Did you now?
Captain Masoni said he'd never seen anything like it.
Ah, the Emperor's envoy. Inquisitor Ludwig said you might be heading this way. Captain Alfair of the Steel Garrote. If you're here to speak with Vidaro, I'm afraid you'll find the governor is quite beyond reason. These Valians and their love of animancy. Fair enough, envoy. Talk to the man all you'd like. When diplomacy fails, the Steel Garrote will be ready to ensure the safety of Adirian interests. We all have our part to play, envoy. Until later.
She's as subtle as a broadside.
Does subtle mean something different outside of Solace?
Oh, those poor souls. Please bring them peace, Hainika. Becoming part of a blight is not a fate I would wish upon my worst enemy. So, the Trentons. A bunch of buttsos, if you ask me. But they are dangerous, I'll admit. Watch yourself out there. Careful with old Nuna. I have a theory that her longevity and hardiness are due to an inordinate suffusion of essence. Ah, those Delamgan. They are not evil, it is just in their nature to push back against the expansion of civilization. Still, survival of the fittest and all that, meh?
Come on. My invention is guaranteed to enlarge.
Giata, what's the meaning of this?
Look at these crops. Look at your city. The dream scourge is laying waste to our home.
I had one job, and I couldn't even do that.
Pour you a drink, good Mike?
Look out for her, Fidelio. How hard could that have been? If I could help myself, do you think I'd be in here? I don't mean that. I have a lot on my plate. I'd like to be. They're out searching. Someone had to hold down the fort. My two youngest rangers were supposed to report back from their rounds. I assumed they'd turn up. But it's been 3 days now. They're still not here. Praise Hylia. Their names are Belena and Adalaro. I doubt they'll be apart. They were good rangers once. But since they've caught each other's eye, all they do is sneak off to, I wouldn't have put it that way, but all right.
Well, there's worse places to make the four-legged beast. I promise you that.
New recruits running off with each other? Oh man, this brings me back.
Anyway, I never thought I had any cause for concern. They always found their way back eventually, but they haven't this time. They're out there, all alone, and they could be in danger, and What they're doing is their business, but rangers have to come when they are called. Wait, gods, you're relentless. The point is, they've never been gone this long. The last time I saw them, I sent them to patrol the northern riverbed. If you go that way, please, keep an eye out for them. I'm losing my mind in here.
Two young Nimdutin wandering out by a river. Consider them found.
Maybe we don't look too soon. Give them a while. Know what I mean?
How can you ignore what's right in front of you? The Dream Scourge is here, in the soil, and it's killing us. Oh my goodness. Are you a godlike? Charmed. Forgive me for staring. It's just, we don't see many of your kind anymore.
Maybe you can talk some sense into our governor. Put the fear of the gods in him.
Seems more likely you'll have to punch some sense into him.
Excuse me, but unless you have official business, I'll thank you not to involve yourself in our private discussion.
Did you hear that, Ignacy? You should be taking notes.
Of course. The Adiran envoy. Ambassador Hilgard sent a missive telling me to expect you. How delightful. You speak with a measure of authority, but I caution you to remember who's in charge around here.
Now that's what I call a first impression. As you can see, I was just proving a point to our esteemed governor.
A cart full of spoiled vegetables. You call that a point?
Ha! Emerald Stair used to be a lush garden for miles around, and now I don't even recognize it. First came the invasive species, roots and mycelium growing overnight, as though nature itself had gone mad. The Dream Scourge has twisted our lands, our wildlife, and now, our farms. Then there's no time to waste arguing with bureaucrats.
We definitely agree on that.
I believe that we can restore the land, bring back its soul and its sanity, cut off the Dream Scourge at the root. Our governor would rather ignore the problem. He doesn't trust animancy as his father did. Before we can deal with the Dream Scourge, we first need to understand it. Unfortunately, new experiments have to go through him.
Must be nice that all the arguing isn't about you, for once.
I'm just trying to stop Chiata from hurting herself. Animancy is dangerous when you're shooting in the dark. I see you're unfamiliar with animancy. Be careful with your assumptions. Are you going to tell her about your family's basement? Or should I?
How dare you use that against me?
I know it was an accident. But look what it cost you. We can't let it happen again.
While we argue among ourselves, the Dream Scourge is tearing the living lands apart. Tearing our people apart. Really? Unexpected from an Adiran. But how could I refuse an offer like that? Well, Governor, looks like I'm taking some time away from my duties. I'll trouble you no more.
Your request is denied, Chatta.
I wasn't asking.
Your responsibilities are to the settlement. Turning away from them sets a precedent that I cannot allow.
Everything I have proposed has been for Fior, and you still refuse to cooperate. Under the circumstances, I don't have much of a choice.
Then neither do I. Giatta Castel, from this day forth, you are banished from Fior Messiverno.
Banished?
What?
Ignacy, we can't lose our brightest animancer in the middle of a crisis.
Your pupil has gone too far, Quilici. Take her and leave. You're still a guest in my town, but to us, Giatta is an outcast. Perhaps, but I can't just let her continue to poison the minds of my animancers.
They aren't your animancers. Your father understood that.
Don't bother, old man. He isn't his father. I've done all I can for Fior Messiverno. But you haven't even tried. Now limp back to your giant house like a good dog. We should talk somewhere private. Meet me at my house due west, by the workshop.
I'll find us another bedroom.
That did not go as I had planned.
What did you think would happen when you confronted him so?
Well, my first idea was to mess up his house. Maybe break a window or two.
Perhaps I should thank you for showing restraint.
I'm sorry you had to see that. What an asshole.
Giatta, some manners, if you please.
Why start now?
We're on the verge of extinction, but our governor is too busy protecting his fragile ego. What does he know? He isn't even an animancer.
You did challenge his authority.
I know, but... curses. Without Fior Messiverno, I'm hardly even an animancer. My tools, the workshop, all gone.
I wish I could take credit for Giatta's stubbornness, but she learned that on her own.
Thanks, old man. At least now I'm free to study whatever I want. On my terms. The Dream Scourge has been a thorn in my side for too long. I have plans for this island, and they don't involve the Dream Scourge. But that's a story for another day.
Your parents would be proud to see such tenacity.
Anyway, listen to us babble. Let's talk about you. I never expected to see an Adiran envoy here. You've got a lot of guts showing your face in a town full of animancers. Likewise, they should be educational for us both. Our first order of business is the Dream Scourge, but I'm also curious about you. There aren't many godlike left these days. Wouldn't that be a coincidence? I only bring it up because Animancy might offer us some insight into your nature. Keep an open mind. While I pack up my belongings, you can help me by... I don't even know. I just realized this is the end. I have to leave Fjord Messiverno. Forever.
Some people don't find out who they really are until they leave home.
You'll be all right. My advice, find a good tavern and learn how to prepare a squirrel over an open flame.
Maybe if I focus on what I have gained, I can learn to accept everything I've lost. When it comes to the Dream Scourge, we haven't been allowed to acknowledge the problem, much less act on a solution. Today, that changes. I need help from the animancers around town, but as you can see, I'm an outcast. I hope so, because we're running out of options. Manto Pastor is in the workshop due west. He's got an invention that can help us. Elia Rossell is an authority on the undead. Her methods are controversial, but useful. She lives in a cottage southeast of town. And then there's Yvette and Remy, our philosophers. You'll find them at the docks, southeast of Fjord. Each of them owes me a favor. Drop my name and they'll tell you what they know about the Dream Scourge. We're about to make history. But first, research.
Guessing she's not much of a hunter. Might want to get extra rations next time we go shopping.
Godlike, Imperial Envoy, Research Assistant. Who knew?
Careful, or we'll get thrown out of the pub.
We're already thrown.
Really? Huh. When did that happen?
Can't say as I remember.
Ado, I need some water. Found it, machine.
What do you think of Giatta's theory?
Well, my experiments have been a little
unpredictable. Very like the essence has no sense of direction. How did you know? We should talk, but not here.
Oh, I heard there was a new arrival, but I didn't expect a godlike. Welcome to our modest workshop. Giatta, what a loss. I owe that young woman more than I could ever repay. Unfortunately, I cannot do a lick of research while my equipment is underpowered and overworked. Yes, her theory of the dream scourge, I'm quite familiar. What I need is a stronger power source. Perhaps if you can help me find an appropriate battery of essence. I could use a large single block of Artra, but harvesting it is difficult in this environment. Oh, wait. One of our rangers reported that an Adragon recently died in a western grove. As you've seen, Envoy, there are many unusual things happening lately. An Adragon's heart can hold an immense amount of essence. The grove is to the west, across the chasm. You can't miss it. The rangers say a Delamgan queen holds court there. You may be able to retrieve it without violence, but most Delamgan in these parts are hostile to Keith. So you can understand why none of us went rushing over there to find it when we heard the Adragon had died. Still, Delamgan queens can be reasoned with, so if you want to get the heart peacefully, try not to kill her guards. Do be careful. Emerald Stair is not itself these days.
If you can convince her to hand it over, I'll be more than impressed.
Ado, welcome to my fine establishment, I mean.
I'm sorry you had to witness that spectacle. Giat is a spirited animancer, but she can be intolerable at times. Whatever you may think of us, I welcome you to Fior Mesiverno. Quilici wants us panicking over what he can't even prove. If there's a threat to Emerald Stair, it's that old man and his fear-mongering. Don't waste your time on him. He was loyal to my father, but never to me. And he knows how to rally others to his side.
This Nimdude wouldn't see a Balrog coming if it did a little dance right in front of him.
If there's nothing more, I have a city to run.
I've got a powerful feeling we weren't supposed to see this.
My hands. My hands. Sharp talons. Oh.
If I were you, I would keep my distance from the Castell family lab. I knew I heard someone snooping about. And you have the gall to confront me like a common criminal. This conversation is over. That is not a topic for discussion. I'll hear no more of this. You go about your business, and I'll go about mine.
Relax, Amakul, just asking questions.
Prices seem a bit steep.
Genuine healing crystals, purest in all of Eora.
Oh, you startled me. This old woman can get lost in prayer from time to time. You must be the Adiran envoy I've been hearing about. Apologies for any hardships you may have experienced getting here. The failing crops, the strange beasts, and even the dream scourge are all the result of our neglect of the dead.
Oh, so those gnats constantly buzzing in my ears are this lady's fault. Apology not accepted.
The dead of Fior expect certain rituals to be carried out. I have failed to perform those rituals, and now the spirits are angry. Exactly the case. With everything happening and my own advanced age, I have had trouble keeping up. Our recent dead require a final meal to ease their passage from life. Without it, they can't rejoin the cycle.
You've got people waiting in line for their next meal, and you want to waste food on the dead?
I got food from the grain merchant stores. I just need someone to leave it at the graves. The dead will take it from there.
Flesh and bone, they bring the fruit to those who cannot eat. What tree calls for its branches to endure these rituals?
I did, yes. With things the way they are, there was no other way to get what I need for the ritual. If I didn't think this was important, I wouldn't have taken the food. But this ritual is the key to everything. I know Elena would understand how important it is to pay tribute to the dead. But this does help the living. By appeasing the dead, we end the dangers their anger caused. The crops will grow again. The dream scourge will end. All will be well once more. Do it for whatever reason you like, as long as it gets done. The first offering goes to a cliffside grave on the southern coast. The second offering goes to a grave in the swamp, far to the west from here. The final offering should be taken to the truffle farm east of Eora, where a family lost their lives to the encroaching wilds. I understand how it looks, but appeasing the dead is vital, especially in times like these. I can't thank you enough for helping to ease the conscience of an old lady. Please, return when the rituals are complete.
Rejuvenate and revitalize your personal essence.
What do you mean that's all you've got? Last week you said there'd be grain.
I know what I said, but we only have so much to go around. Listen, if you need food, you're going to have to get in line like everyone else. I don't think there's anything that can be done. I'm hoping the Animancers can find a solution. Honestly, my biggest issue seems to be rats taking the food. Or thieves. I just want the food at this point, but I'm pretty sure it's lost. Rosanna? I couldn't have guessed that in a million years. I would normally let this sort of thing slide, but right now, every piece of food missing is a person who goes hungry. I empathize with Rosanna. I really do. My family shares those beliefs, and has for as long as I can remember. In this situation, though, I truly believe the living need the food more than the dead. Thank you. I know she took this for a reason, but let's feed the living first before worrying about the dead. I don't hold this against her. Rosanna truly has Fiore's best interests at heart, even if her priorities are out of order. Thank you for returning the food. It's a small thing, but it's a big deal to us.
The people needed this food more than the dead do. You made the right choice.
I don't see what's the problem.
If you can see it, I doubt I can
Why is it somehow worse when the Revenants aren't trying to kill you?
A godlike in Emerald Stair. Well, maybe our luck's improving. I'd offer to shake your hand, but I've been elbow deep in Beatrice all day. Try and use their names, if you don't mind. It builds their confidence. As you can see, this is my reanimated corpse farm.
Oh, and what do you use for fertilizer? Other corpses?
I'm trying to demonstrate the value of undead labor. But of course, nothing is ever that simple. What am I supposed to do? Just let them decompose? Reanimated corpses are the future of manual labor. Cost-effective, low maintenance, and very friendly. Now, Beatrice, she's being a real problem, if you can believe it. Would you be a dear and reach into her guts? Feel around for anything that doesn't belong. Aha! So the blight got into my revenant and interfered with her raising. That confirms one of my theories. Not only is the Dream Scourge affecting our farms, it's disrupting animancy, unraveling our work. Sounds like I have more research ahead of me, but at least now I have a sense of direction. Thank you for getting your hands dirty on my behalf, godlike. You're a natural. Giatta Castell wants my professional opinion. What an honor. I have a few theories, but no firm conclusions. I have to ask, is it true? Did Vidaro kick her out of town? He's a bigger fool than I thought. Very well. I'll tell you what I know about the Dream Scourge. But first, I need some help around the farm. I'm up to my ears in chores around here, and the Revenants can only do so much. They can't do complicated tasks, you see. Anyway, I'm afraid the time has come to put down poor Silvo. Yes, quickly and mercifully if you can. Silvo is one of my Revenants. My oldest, my favorite, and the pride of my flock. Someone needs to put the poor fellow out to pasture. And I just don't have the heart to do it myself.
Well, it's already dead. That's the hard part done right there.
When a Revenant goes bad, there's only one option. Final death. And poor Silvo's time has come. Thank you for understanding. You can find Silvo in the barn. He's blocked the door somehow, but the window should be open. Just be gentle with him. He's a good boy.
So, we're killing the Revenant then. She just couldn't come out and say that?
And this is why I don't take pets. We make a good squad.
Envoy, a pleasure as always. Poor Silvo. He was a bright young revenant, but a very old man. Thank you for giving him peace. I'll be fine. I've lost so many revenants over the years, and I'm always such a wreck afterward. So, the Dream Scourge. I've been keeping an eye on the readings from my fields. This plague, as we know it, is a recent development. But I believe whatever causes it is older by far. Maybe even as old as the living lands. The exotic plants and animals, the twisted landscape, the Dream Scourge. They have a common ancestor. There's something about the essence in the living lands that's different from anywhere else I've seen. Precisely my point. There is something unique at the heart of this. Not to get too superstitious, but in these troubled times, the arrival of a godlike is no coincidence. You are meant to be here. Toward what end, only you can say. Well, I'm happy to give her some good news for a change. You and Giat are going to shake things up. As for me, I'll be keeping a close eye on my flock.
Oh, and thank you for the nightmare fuel. I really have been sleeping entirely too well lately.
I'm remembering why people find this place unsettling.
Seven in the past week. How am I supposed to live like this? Ah, Ado. You've caught me at an unfortunate time. You wouldn't happen to be an animancer? Matiko. I mean, forgive me. It has been a trying week. If I have to chase down one more revenant, I'll lose my mind. I don't know. They just disappear. I wish they would at least come back. Soon I won't have any left. Absolutely not. Her best student coming back to grovel? She'd laugh in my face. I'm not losing anything. I'll get to the bottom of this, and I'll do it without her help. You know, maybe there is something. Maybe I know where they went. I've caught them trying to shamble off to the nearby lake before. Revenants aren't very bright. That can't be a coincidence. They must be attracted to something. It could even have power over them. It could be anything in a place like this. A relic? A grimoire? Luminous Adra? No, that wouldn't make sense. I was hoping you'd say that. Just follow the trail of revenants. I'd look myself, but I don't trust the few subjects I have left. Oh, and if you find something, I'd be grateful if you brought it here. I want to see whether it leads the surviving revenants back. The only way to find out is to experiment.
The great mystery is, are godlike blessed or cursed? Gods are silent on this question.
Neither. They just are. Anything else is speculation.
Ah, I hate speculation. I want answers.
Remy, look what I found. A genuine godlike.
Do you think they can hear us?
Let's find out. Hello, me, Yvette. You friend? Remy, take a note. The endangered godlike's vacant gaze betrays an unquenchable thirst for violence. We heard that Giada partnered up with an outsider, but I had no idea you were a godlike. Fascinating.
I suppose we owe her a favor. Or two.
Giada must have sent you to be our test subject. She knows how we adore your kind. Satisfy our curiosity and we'll give you everything Giada needs to finish her research. Deal?
Let's begin the examination. If you could choose, who or what would you be in your next life? Next time you go round the wheel, you might not get so lucky.
Who wouldn't? My turn. Some would call you blessed. Others would call you cursed. The fact remains, you were touched by the gods. Wouldn't you say that you owe something to the rest of us? So, you believe we need your help. Interesting.
Oh, I thought of another. We all know that godlike can't reproduce. How do you plan on leaving a legacy after you're gone? Oh, didn't anyone tell you? Well, this is awkward. Shame you had to learn it from us.
Do you have an answer or not? Very optimistic, aren't we? I think that covers everything. Thank you for that brilliant insight, Godlike. You're a credit to your dwindling kind.
So, Giata wants to know all about the Dream Scourge, yes? Such has been her research of late. Do you want the good news or the bad news?
The Dream Scourge is proof that an unprecedented metaphysical disaster can take place at any time.
Oh, that's a load off my mind. Sure beats not constantly worrying about the future.
How's that good news?
Giata will be interested to learn that the Dream Scourge cannot just be studied in a lab. Its nature is wild, so it has to be studied in the wild. Our machines and experiments would meddle with it too much.
And like anything affecting the soul, it must be connected to essence. Thus, if she wishes to discover more about the Dream Scourge, a Pillar of Adra would be a good place to start.
That wouldn't surprise me. Both are natural occurrences, after all. Terrible, but quite natural.
Most natural things are. Terrible, that is.
An entity, you say? If this entity is your patron, that's all perfectly natural. But if it's something else, with enough essence and a capable animancer, perhaps you could trace this tether back to its source.
Right, and with a little fresh sake, you can follow an ogre back to its lair. Still wouldn't recommend it.
Just be careful that your tether doesn't snap back and kill you in the process.
Now that we've researched the mind of a godlike, the next step is anatomy. But we've taken enough of your time. Farewell.
Hurry, before they change their minds.
Ugh, I might have dozed off there for a bit. Were any of those words the ones we needed? This place could use a broom or two. Maybe a team of carpenters.
First, my wife runs off to Paradise, and now this.
making it up.
You're not still on about that, are you?
You don't think the Clavager died alone on the Strangle route? Why? Don't you?
Good. You finally showed up. I was worried you weren't coming. The name's Keeledge. Pleasure to meet you. Hilgard sent me to Emerald Stair to keep an eye on this place. I had orders to make contact as soon as you arrived. I won't talk long. He only wants me to let you know I'm here. If you need to get word to the ambassador, I'm your man. Depends on the day. Hilgard told me to blend in, observe, and contact you. Now, I think I'm just supposed to wait and report back in a few days. I'm worried about drawing attention from Ludwine's crew in the meantime. I think they're up to something. I suppose, but this seems worse than normal. I think the scale of their operation is dangerous. All right. I suppose I can do that. Exactly how far do you want me to go with this? Understood. Until later, Envoy.
Take him down. Take your best shot. I was just getting warmed up. Let's go. This one's mine.
Listen, Kai, I need you to stalk like a cat, not stomp around like a battle rock.
My training was a lot bigger on stomp. You know, I've heard dueling is popular in the Valian republics. You wouldn't think a public argument could feel as brutal, but I'll be damned if Giada didn't draw blood. No doubt. That's why I admire the resolve. Living Landers can be contrarian and combative. That's what sends a lot of us here in the first place. But it's still hard to swim against the tide with your own people, especially when it means getting them to face a hard truth. This is what I like about you, and Giada. She knows who she is and what she believes. She's got more clarity and conviction than I had at her age.
She has more clarity than you have now.
Hey, I am a willing victim of my own delusions.
Sometimes that just makes it easier.
Hey, don't worry. We're talking about Giada's situation.
Right. Like, what did you think I was talking about?
Anyway, this can't be an easy time for Giada, but I'm glad to have her on our side.
Envoy? Well, that was interesting, right? The woman arguing about the crops failing? Standing up for what you believe against authority. I can respect that. Of course, my method would have been run away under the cover of night, never to return, but yeah, this works for her. I don't know. In my experience, it's always the snake you don't see that bites you. Anyway, there's clearly more going on here than a bunch of animancers sitting in dusty labs doing whatever they do all day. Beyond that, nah, I can't help you. Call me when you're back to facing real danger. Right, changing the subject. Not before I've done some reading.
The Adra stirs, a crackle of light in a withered field. The bars stifle us. We cannot recall when last we spoke. Hollow faces in a line. What has come of this place? A hand of generosity, or a gauntlet of steel. We feel them. They bend and hone the essence of the earth. They draw from our veins like a well. What are these rituals? A new tongue, an unfamiliar name. A harvest grows, the dead rise. What do they hope to achieve? Set what has been broken, soothe the pain. They build walls in their hearts. Why do they not share what they make? Punished, cast out. We understand. We peer through the murky water in vain. What is the truth? Fire that burns the forest feeds the soil with its ash. We have learned much. Dream of soaring wings in your repose.
It seems like the readings are stronger by that tree.
Be honest. Do you really get any use from this?
Gone. Adelaro's gone. He's a dream. We're all dreams now. Sweet peonies. Hello. Are you a fish too? Oh, the sardines shimmer. They swim in silver circles.
Something's not right with her. The Dream Scourge. Is this how it starts? She's probably the ranger Fidelio told us to look out for. Poor kid.
We're Belena? Maybe you're Belena. Where's Adelaro? We need him. Adelaro knows where Adelaro is. Adelaro's face burst into violet when the dreams came. Red violets. He joined the others.
She's talking about another dream thrall. We better find him before he finds us.
She watched that happen to him. God.
A lamb taken from the flock. How do we soothe her?
Your friends speak true. They know us. Help us! When you find them, they will scream. They will sing with you. Soon the rest of Fior will be swallowed by dreams too. But tell us of Adelaro first. Where is he?
If nothing else, you'll spare her from having to see it.
Find him. Give the lieutenant our badges. He swims in the bone and boar. He calls himself Fidelio. He will understand our song. But Adelaro stumbles at the mouth of the river above us. Please, help us sleep soundly.
Quiet.
To your left, you're mine now. Coming from the rear. Next one's mine. Look to your left. On your right.
Just like the good old days.
Right behind you.
Scurry, hide!
Chew it. Spit it out. Chew it out. Rows of teeth. I can hear you listening. The pound, the claw.
That's all of them. I'd say the Revenants were hiding in that lake. Could be wrong.
The water is beautiful, wouldn't you agree? The surface is calm, but the depths are full of life. Barrett's orphans, you mean? No, there is a power here that far surpasses me. In the time of the ancients, a piece of the sky fell here. Then came the water. It pulses with essence, though it does not live. You are a godlike. I'm surprised it did not speak to you. Call it whatever pleases you. Andra knows it by another name. Forgive me, we have no reason to know each other. I mediate between mortals and the Lady of Lament. Some call me a gift-bearer.
Oh, good. I could use a new pair of boots.
We had one come to Paradise once. Thought he was a grifter, especially since he only seemed to want tokens made of gold or gems.
They do, but coin doesn't concern me. Healing is my calling. That's what brought me to this lake. The shard of sky is a fragment of Ioni Bratha. When the moon shattered, it fell here. Its memory is long and full of pain. Perhaps, whatever they are looking for, they should not be here. A remnant of Andra's loss should have nothing to offer them, yet still they gather. If you retrieve the stone, find me at the harbor to the south. I have plans for it, and you. Take care when you breach the surface, though. The vessels might react. Ah, the tender of Bereth's orphanage. Yes, I've seen him. I fear he meddles in dangerous forces. Still, I respect your vow of aid. Make sure you hold your breath, godlike. Your work in this life is not finished.
I know that's what I want to do before I go for this one.
Okay, folks. Let's get the sky rock from the lake full of corpses so we can help out the creepy water.
I owe you. Hurry, envoy. Those revenants are definitely coming this way.
Who's ready for more?
Unseen, unheard.
think I sprained my shoulder. Nice tree fort. Good visibility of the area.
We're going to need to ration more strictly than we already are.
Definitely a nice defensible setup. Not bad.
Hey there. Something on your mind? It just took me back. Something about her reminded me of old times. War stories. And I've seen shades of that before. The meek trooper who develops a taste for killing. Now, the part that stuck with me was what she said about watching her partner turn. Seeing someone you know, someone close to you, beyond help like that. I just want to know, you were careful when you told her about Adelaro. Why? It probably was. Some part of her seemed to know. And even in the state she was in, she handled it. Better than most. Sorry. I need a moment to clear my head. Gone in minutes. No wonder they're having trouble farming these days.
Nothing like a win with a good team.
Tama's old house. Wonder what he wanted to do. The place feels different without him. He left something behind for me. Help me look around. So much here reminds me of Tama. It's strange to be back without him. I still can't imagine what he wanted me to find. Say, what's that you're holding? Yeah, it is. His most prized possession. Damn you, Tama. Damn you. I carved this for him years ago. I had no idea he'd kept it, let alone. All this time, I never knew. And he tells me like this, when he's long gone, leaving me with nothing but a piece of driftwood I gave him years ago. Would be if he just told me. I never gave him any reason to be coy. And we knew each other for years. We were close. I trusted him with things in my past. Things I don't talk about. If he really did, he would have told me. I was a mess when we met. I'd been through the battles in Deadfire and a handful of mercenary campaigns since. I was a chewed-up piece of flotsam drifting to the living lands. Tom always saw right through me. He knew what I was. A coward who failed him. I let him down. He was always there when I needed him. But when he needed me, I'm sorry. I'm gonna need some time with this. That's probably for the best. I haven't talked about this in a while, so thanks for listening. It means a lot. Especially since you seem to have your head on straight. A little fresh air will clear my head.
Quiet, Nimdut.
Leave something alone long enough, the living lands will take it back.
Trail goes through the ravine and into the glade. Careful where you step. Maybe we don't go inside the ancient creepy tower. Just a thought?